Okay, so for today's video, I want to ask a very simple question, which is there an afterlife? Is there life after death? Like when we close our eyes on this side of eternity, is there another life out there? Should we look forward to an entire new world after we close our eyes here? Like when our pilgrimage come to an end, what happened? When a person lies down and they are dead, and for some and somehow they wake up, what do they wake up to? Is there another life out there? Like, is there an afterlife? Um, this is actually what I have in mind today. This is what I really want us to discuss today because I had an experience um some years back. All right, it's been a while now, but I thought I should start sharing some of these experiences, so that in case if there's somebody out there who have had similar experiences, they'll also be able to share it with me, and so we can learn from each other and just grow, and open our minds, you know. So let's get into it. All right. So some years ago, by the way, I'm a Christian. My religion, I'm a Christian. I'm not just a Christian, I'm born again. I gave my life to Christ at a very early age. So I've been working with the Lord for a long time now. So I'm one of those, I belong to a school of thought, actually, that I believe that there's an afterlife. Because that's how I was brought up, yeah. I was brought up in the church system. And of course, we're told about hellfire, we're told about heaven, and we've been told that, there's another world out there. In fact, we've been taught that once dead here is not really dead. It's just like um changing places, it's just like you changing your address to put it lightly. So I had grown up with that belief. Okay, it's just something that was in my head, but I've never had any experience as at prior to this experience I had to prove or to convince me that okay, truly there's something there. But because I was brought up that way, I just believed that okay, there's something there. All right then. So some years back, I had gone to church, and I used to be an usher in my church. And in my church, then we had three services. And as ushers, we usually will stay for the three services, except if, of course, you are not feeling fine. So, of course, I had stayed for the three services, and I got back home and I was so exhausted. Meanwhile, that week was supposed to be my 27th birthday. So even before I went to church, I had it in mind, it was in my mind. I was like, oh, my birthday, is something that was on my mind. It was just playing in my mind. I was thinking about, oh, I'm going to be 27. Like, oh my God, I was so happy about it. I was looking forward to it. There was so much excitement, in my heart as I looked forward to this birthday, which was going to be that week, all right? So the Sunday prior to my birthday, I got back from church as usual, but I was so exhausted. So when I got home, I pulled off my shoes, right? Dropped my handbag, and I just hit the bed face down. And I slept off. All right. It was a very, very, very deep sleep. Now, this sleep lasted for hours. I got back home like, let's say like 2 in the afternoon. And by the time I woke up, it was like 8 p.m. in the night. And for some reason, my aunt, whom I was living with then, didn't wake me up. Usually, when I sleep for too long, she'll come and knock on my door and say, baby, you're sleeping for too long, like wake up. But for some reason, this particular day, she did not come to knock. Later, she told me though that she saw that I was exhausted when I got back, so she didn't bother. Okay, so here is what happened, right? I slept off. As far as I was concerned, it was sleep, right? I just slept off and it was a deep sleep. But here is what happened. At a point in time, I saw myself somewhere else. It looked as if I was in a corridor and my clothes were not the clothes that I slept with because I had gone to church in a suit, all right? But in this experience, I was wearing a velvet, purple, long sleeve and trouser, right? It was a top that has a long sleeve and a trouser, and they were all purple. And I knew that for sure I was in a corridor. It was an endless one because I did not see the end of the corridor. Of course, I can't remember seeing the I can't remember seeing the back of the corridor. I just knew that I was in a corridor. All right, so I was in the center of a place. It was a corridor, and I knew that I was going towards, like I was moving forward. Okay, so while I was moving and going forward towards that corridor, I just heard a voice. And the voice was like, my birthday, my birthday. What is it about your birthday? Okay, now you're actually dead. What can you do? Your birthday, but you're dead. As soon as I heard that voice, I remember saying, no, I refuse to die. I cannot die. I said, no, I am not dead. I will not die. I said, I cannot die at 27. Like, what have I done for God? What do I have to show for it? I cannot die. And the voice kept on. The voice kept on, actually. It says, and you'll be 27. What have you done for God? What can you really show? And you're dead. And I said, no, I am not dead. I cannot die. Like, I refuse to die. That I'm just going to be 27 years old. I've not even done anything for God. Like, I've not really done anything for God. So how can I just die? Like, I will not die. So while I was arguing and resisting the voice, I I realized for some, when you're having some kind of weird experiences, right? Well, while that thing was going on, I found myself back in my room. When I found myself back in my room, I realized it was clear that I was no more in the corridor that I was. But now I saw myself in the room. And when I saw myself back in my room, I saw that I now saw myself in three parts. That's why I said this experience was a crazy one. And I do really, really like I'm looking forward to hearing what you have to say. Like, if there's somebody out there who have had a similar experience with me, please share it with us. Let me know. All right. And please, if you've listened to this time, I really will appreciate it if you can like this page, if you can like this my channel, subscribe to it, and please click the notification bell, because I'm going to be dropping videos like this that has to do with real life issues, no filters, and I'd like us to share and talk about it. Okay. All right. So where was I? Okay, so I was back into my bedroom and I saw myself by the door. And to my amazement, I saw that I was three actually. One of me was standing by the door and two of me were on the bed. I saw that the one that was on the bed, right? That one looked like me, like all the three parts shall look like me, eh? But the one that was on the bed looked like she was in deep sleep. Then I saw a second part coming out of a transparent, I think that's the best word I can use, transparent, translucent, see-through me coming out of the me that was on the bed. Guys, I hope you're getting me. I hope you're understanding me. Because I'm trying my best to use words that I think I can describe what I experienced, yeah? So the transparent me that was on top of the one that was on the bed was actually trying to come out. In fact, that particular one had come out like halfway. All right, because I saw it has lifted up from my body, the body that was on the bed. It was almost out, but it was not yet out. So the me that was on the door, I saw what was going on, and I remember I kept telling myself, no, I cannot die. Like, I will not die. I'm too young. I've not done anything for God. All right. So when I kept saying that, I just knew that I was by the door. Like, when you're at the door and you're ready to like check out. But I also knew that at that moment I was resisting it. I said, no, I was not going to die. That I have not done anything for God. And then the more I spoke, like I was not speaking with my mouth like audible, right? But I was speaking in my mind, right? In my mind, I was saying it. And while that was going on, I now noticed that the transparent one tried to touch the one that was on the bed with my middle finger. I saw it like this. As soon as the transparent middle finger touched the body that was on the bed, I felt life. Suddenly, life entered my entire being. Like I felt life entered my body. And as soon as I felt life entered my body, of course, I was no more by the door. I now knew that I was on the bed and I wanted to wake up immediately. But for some reason, I couldn't wake up. I still kept on sleeping. And then after some hours, I woke up normally. I woke up like normally, like you know how you sleep and you wake up, and I woke up normally. Nothing happened. I woke up, I took my bath, I went to see my aunt. She asked me why I slept so long. I told her I was just tired. We exchanged pleasantries. So she sent me out to go and meet an uncle of mine. And I went out. So it was on my way. Because when I woke up, I'd completely forgotten the experience, right? Like it was I woke up normally. So while I was going to meet my uncle, okay, it was on the way that all of a sudden an awareness came on me. And I remembered for details, every detail, every part, what has happened, what took place. And right there by the roadside, I had to shaking, like I was shaking like a leaf. Like you could, if you're passing by me, and if you're passing by me, you feel it, you feel the vibration from my body. Like I was shaking to my being. I stood there, like I couldn't even move. I was transfixed for a while. I stood there for a while until I got myself back. And when I got myself back, I was able to now get to my uncle's house and I told him what has happened to me. And he said, wow, that was a close one with death. You know that, babe, you would have just died, you know. That's just death right there. But somehow God showed you mercy, you know, and that was it. I got back home and I still told my aunt, you know. And of course, going forward, we prayed about it and I kept living my life and kept believing God for the best and all of that. So this experience, for me, I learned a lot of lessons actually from this singular experience. One of the lessons, in fact, one of the realization for me, it became a truth. You know, like I said at first, I was told in church that of course there's life and death, right? But I was also told that there's life after death. Sorry. I was told that there's hell, there's this, there's another world out there. It's just something I was told. But now I had this experience and I knew that I had seen myself somewhere else. And that was another world. In fact, I was in another place, in an environment completely changed. My clothes had even changed. And I was still me. Like I recognized me. I knew that that was me. And I was still audible. I was still a complete, like I could recognize myself. So one of the greatest lessons I learned from that experience is the fact that indeed, there's life after death. When we transition from here, now I see it as transitioning. Like I don't see it as the end. I see it as a continual walk, sort of like a transitioning to another world. Okay, I do believe that there's another world out there. The name to give it now, I don't know. Whether we'll call it, because for example, I was not caught up in the fires of hell. God showed me mercy. I saw myself in a beautiful, beautiful hall and I was properly adorned with purple, which is a royal color, right? So I did not experience the hell burning part. No, God showed me mercy. I didn't experience that. But I don't know what your own experience is. And I don't know what we can give this afterlife. I don't even know if you believe that there's an afterlife. Do you believe that there's an afterlife? Do you actually believe that there's a place that all humans will move to after this place? Like when it's all said and done on this side of eternity, do you believe that there's another life? Please, if you do, write me. Drop a message for me. Send me a message. Drop a comment. Let's discuss this. Let me know. I want to know your opinion and I want to know your own experiences and how it has changed your life. All right? Let me know your position concerning this matter because it's actually a very, very deep one. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. I'm looking forward to hearing from you. Bye for now. Keep well.